So if you're a natural lifter, meaning you're not using needles to shoot up every time you're going to the gym and inject yourself and you're on some type of gear, you play by a completely different set of rules than non-natural lifters. Just the other day, I saw somebody on Instagram, swole as fuck. And in the link in the description, he said, my full workout is in the link in my bio. And as jacked as this dude was, it was tempting to check it out. But then I checked out more of his profile and I saw that he was an IFBB pro bodybuilder, which when you're in that league, you're on steroids. Every IFBB pro bodybuilder will tell you that you got to get on some type of gear, testosterone, steroids, in order to compete in that league. I immediately clicked off that as soon as I realized that. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that they'll be able to do the same thing, but they're on steroids and you're not. And then even when you're not on steroids, when you're natural, there's different levels to being able to build muscle. But natural bodybuilding, specifically from an ectomorph point of view like myself, is a completely different journey when it's natural. So if you want to build the perfect body, that aesthetic physique, without taking steroids and keep it all natural, then you're gonna have to work it a lot different from your favorite influencers. And I myself have a training program and a meal plan that I put together. So if you want to see exactly the type of workouts that I do, the schedule of workouts, how I do them, video demonstrations and meal plans all laid out instead of just watching video by video. You want the full workout plan laid out for you for small people to gain weight, build muscle, build strength. Then you could check out the workout program meal plan that I have linked in the description below. But back to this video. The basics of really building muscle is you have to get insanely good and insanely strong at the compound movements, at all exercises really. Progressive overload is what it's all about. But compound movements need to be the staple of your workout that you use to get progressively stronger at. But then also focus on recovery, something that non-natural lifters don't have to worry too much about to the extent that us natural lifters do. That's the reason why people on steroids make gains so easily. They can damn near lift as much weight as they want, max out every week, recover, and then max out again the next week and be able to lift even more weight that following week. Then recover, then do it again and lift even more weight. So the first step that you have to do as a non-natural lifter to build muscle is optimizing your testosterone production, because you're not getting the extra testosterone from all the drugs and steroids that other people take. And so optimize your testosterone means to eat the right foods, take the right vitamins, get the right amount of sleep. Optimal sleep alone, I'm talking about minimum 7 hours, 8 hours, ideally 9 hours if you can, increases your testosterone if you get it consistently. Certain foods will increase your testosterone more than others with long-term consumption of them. Eggs being one of the staples when it comes to testosterone. When it comes to really optimizing your testosterone, vitamin D will help your testosterone to increase. Zinc, combined with vitamin D especially, increases testosterone. Magnesium is good for testosterone. Funi Greek, Tonkat Ali, there's the list goes on. And of course, those things that I mentioned work more effectively the older you get. When you're younger, they might not increase your testosterone that much. But either way, doing those things, regardless of what age you were, will optimize your testosterone. And the second thing that you're going to need to focus on is recovery. I mean, you're going to make no gains and no progress if you don't focus on recovery. And that means that you can't just waste your time and energy on junk value when you're focused on recovery. You have to be intentional with every single set that you do. And basically that means not just going into the gym and repping out as much weight as many times as you can and then doing burnout sessions. I mean, there's a time and place for doing burnout sets. Just don't do it all the time. Stopping 1 or 2 reps short of failure on each set, on most of your sets anyway, is the superior way to get more volume in. And muscle growth responds more to frequency and value than it does 1 or 2 hard extreme lifts. So then the third thing is you have to master the exercises you do, meaning don't switch the exercises too often. Core set of compound movements and core set of accessory movements. But once you have a plan, once you have a workout routine going, you don't want to switch that routine real often, because that's going to mess up the progress that you were making on the initial original routine that you had going. And they're going to be starting over from square one, from zero. Your muscles grow bigger when they make progress on one specific movement. And then when you switch up that specific movement to a whole nother movement, muscle growth that was happening from the progress you were making is going to be lost because you switched up a workout and now you're doing a whole nother workout. And your muscle has to readapt to this new movement and then try to grow from that new routine that you're doing. Whereas if you stuck to the original workout, your muscle just keeps adapting, keeps growing, keeps ascending upwards in terms of strength and size from that movement that you're mastering, because you are continuing it without switching it up. That doesn't mean just stick with that one exercise for a specific muscle for the rest of your life, for as long as you're working out. Of course, again, time and place for switching up workouts, but don't do it every week you're doing a new workout for biceps, every week you're doing a new workout for legs. What's essential is that you give it at least a couple of months before you switch it out. And also, the fourth thing is cut the quantity of your workout. Don't focus so much on quantity, instead focus on the quality. And in terms of the quantity that you want to do, if you're going heavy and going close to failure, or you're going to failure, the amount of sets you really want to lock in are 3 sets, 4 sets at the most. And then the next thing that you need to do, the fifth thing, is making sure that you track your reps, making sure that you record everything that you're doing. So if you find 1 month not lifting heavier or not lifting more weights than you did the last month, then you're not doing this right. You're not working out right. And even if you gain muscle while never tracking your lifts, that's probably because you had a good diet, you're eating a lot, but you not tracking your lifts means you could have gained even more muscle. You want to record what you're doing. You want to record how much weight you did and how many reps you did, so you know what you have to do and what you have to beat the next week. How much more weight, how many more reps you have to do next week than you did the week before. And it doesn't have to be both weight and reps that you need to increase. You can do one or the other. In fact, that's the ideal way to do it. And you're not going to be able to do it every week. You just go up in weight and reps, but you at least want to do it every week, every 2 weeks, sometimes every 3 weeks, depending on your recovery, your age, how busy you are, etc. You know what will always go up is when you're on steroids. The next thing, the sixth thing, is to make every single set count. Doing every single set like it's the last set that you're doing in the gym. Making every single rep as hard as you can. And by making it as hard as you can, this includes things like controlling the weight with proper form. Don't just go in there to lift weights and move weights around. Focus on making the weight lifting as hard as you can. Challenge the muscle as hard as you can. That's going slow on the eccentric, which is the downward portion of your lift, and then controlling the weight back up and squeezing at the top of the rep, on each rep, on each set. And of course, that's going to require you to lessen the weight. You're not going to be able to lift as much weight doing that, but that is what builds muscle. Like I said, if you want a training program, if you're working out, you're not sure what to do, especially if you're a slim person and you're not building the muscle you like, the program, the training that I use, that I basically did to build a muscular physique and aesthetic physique, I have it laid out in a program along with a meal plan that you can find in the link in the description below if you want to check it out. And until next time.